Hello, all. I hope you had a good day. Happy Monday. Happy Columbus Day. I worked, got off a little early, came across a video that really sat heavy with me. It made me sick to my stomach. I'll be honest with you, it really did. How much they're just mocking and just throwing it in our face. It did not sit well with me at all. It did not. And I'm going to play it, and we're going to talk about it. And this is going to be my only video for tonight as I process it, because it was really eye-opening and really just kind of peeled back a layer for me. And all my little paid actors and all y'all trying to come in, like, good luck, buttercups. Like, get it together. Get it together, you know? And when it comes to my ex, like, I love him. I will always love him. I want the best for him. I want the best for his life. But I'm more than, like, I know I'm capable of dating. So if somebody's not in my life, well, sorry, why aren't you in my life? You know, step up, buttercup. And I'm gonna leave it there.
You had talked a couple of weeks ago, you were doing an interview, and you talked about how you hope to end the war in Ukraine because it might help you get into heaven. How does this help? Does this help?
I mean, you know me, I like you. I don't think there's anything gonna get me in heaven, okay? I think I'm not maybe heaven bound. I may be in heaven right now as we fly in Air Force, but I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to make heaven. But
Go ahead. You had talked a couple of weeks ago, you were doing an interview.
All right, I don't know the validity of this video, and I don't know the truth of it. I know I pulled it up on quite a few news places, so I'm not sure. But I'm gonna err on the side of caution. Allegedly. All right, allegedly. For someone who classified themselves as a chosen one to beat the bullet and a child of God and plastered all these things in reference to that whole scenario, to say such things like that really just, it hurt my heart. It hurt my heart to no end. It really did. To classify heaven and put it in the same category as Air Force One, like, that's just such a blow to God and what Jesus Christ did on the cross. Like, I'm just so in such disbelief of it. And it really hit me heavy. It really just broke it down to me, how big it is. And I hate it. I really do. I don't want anybody to ever feel like they ain't going to heaven. I don't want anybody to ever feel like they're not heaven bound. And it really classifies the justification of where a mind's at to already adopt it in their thought. And so it's like, I feel like we're all just in a swim pool, and it's like pretty much sink or swim. I mean, I really, you know, just keep swimming at this point, because who knows what the future looks like. Like, and I've been saying this for months. I've been saying it for months. And here it is unfolding. Seeing the system doesn't mean you're powerless. And here are some nuggets that have helped me, okay? Real discernment doesn't make you paranoid. It makes you woken. You're noticing the machinery of control, politics, corruption, social influence, even religion used to condition people to obey, consume, and submit. The key is to recognize it without becoming it. You're called to stay clear-minded in a confused world, not to carry the chaos. Awakening is disruption before restoration. The awakening is disruption before the restoration, because once you awaken to the fact of, like, what's truly happening blatantly in front of our face, it is really, it's disturbing, and it disrupts everything that you know up until this point. And when the light hits, What's been hidden, everything looks worse for a while. That's normal. The lies scream louder before the collapse. Spiritual exposure is mercy, not punishment. It's the clearing that comes before rebuilding. You're witnessing that transitioning, not to end hope. Not to end hope. You know, hope and faith is what saved my life. Hope in God. Faith in God. Hope in what Jesus did on the cross. Faith in knowing what that man did on the cross. And I know that it happened. And I know that it exists. And I know that God is real. And nobody can tell me otherwise because God is here. I know. Because I see him all day, every day. I really do. And it's just the truth. You know? Ground yourself in what can't be manipulated. Truth, compassion, service, prayer. These are unshakable frequencies. When you operate from them, you rise above fear-based systems automatically. You no longer feed the cycle they depend on. And that's the thing. They depend on you to rely on their cycles. Rely on what they're feeding you. Rely on their systematic abuse. Right? And that's why I don't feed the system. When it comes to all the resources and how they've worked against me in reference to all my platforms, in reference to my podcast, in reference to everything, I don't feed it. I move and operate the way that I do. Slow and steady wins the race. And I'm not in any kind of hurry. I'm not chasing a bag. I'm not chasing fame. I'm doing me, how I do it. And that's where everybody needs to get to. That's what's going to save your life. Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. The renewing of your mind. When I saw that, I was more sad and hurt that someone of that caliber would say such things. It was just such a blow to all those that walk faithfully, you know, in reference to God and heaven and their belief system. It was just not nice. Your role in this awakening. I know, this one's a hard one. Your voice, your testimony, your discernment aren't accidents. I was not an accident. I've been predestined. You're the one of many meant to translate confusion into clarity, to show faith and consciousness can coexist with truth and accountability. One of many. I am one of many. And we're all called and we're all destined. But when you get to this side of where you're like, I'm doomed and gloom, so I might as well just spread darkness into this world,